The following program is produced by Lion Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lion Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lion Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information.
Hello, good evening. Good evening everyone. Good evening Texas. Good evening world. And magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat from the Philippines. Welcome back to our season 2 of Be Bold, Why Not? Oh my God, I can't believe we're back on. I am so excited. And we have a lot of guests tonight. But before that, I would like to invite you to watch us on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook Live or Facebook page. And of course, you can watch us at stream.lawin.live. And again, every Monday, 7 p.m., Be Bold, Why Not is brought to you by Lawin Media Network. And if you miss our live show, of course, you can listen to our podcast. And we have a lot of platforms that we using for our podcast. We have Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Deezer, Player FM, Good Pods, Podcast Index, Stitcher, Pandora, Podcast Addict, and Pocket Cast. So don't worry if you missed the live show, but of course we would love for you to join us live so you can participate in our show. Again, this is MJ. We're back for season 2 of Be Bold, Why Not? And oh my God, I'm so excited. It's the month of February, so month of love. So tonight we're going to talk all about love. Yes, you heard that right. It's all about love. You know, love is so needed in this world today. I mean, we all need love for ourselves. We all need love each other to make this world a better place. And we're going to talk about the different types of love. As I said, it's all about love. So we're going to learn about love in general. And in our succeeding episodes for the rest of this month, we're going to be more specific, or we're going to delve deeper into the other types or some specific types of love. So I bet you can't wait. But before that, again, we also have a game which we've always been doing from season 1, and we're carrying it over for season 2. Let's show them the video.
How to join the game. 1. Watch the live show and listen to the conversation. 2. Participate and share your experiences on the topic during the live show. 3. Type your thoughts or experience via comment section. 4. All participants are eligible to win a prize. 5. We will use We'll Decide to determine the lucky winner.
Got that? Yes, just by participating in our show, you'll be eligible to win a prize or be put on the drawing to win a prize. So tonight we have so many guests. I'm so excited. I mean, we are going to be honored by the presence of course, our very own attorney Eileen Ligot-Dizon. These are all from our chamber. So from the Philippine-American Chamber of Commerce. So we have Attorney Eileen Ligot-Dizon, we have Tito Gas Mercado, and we have Joyce Garcia. Yes, and they're all joining us from California. Hi! Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Hi! Hi! Kumusta po kayo, Tito Gas?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so honored to have you in our show tonight. And thank you so much for, your willingness to participate. I know it was such a short notice, but the show must go on and we have to do what we have to do to make it even more interesting. As I've told our viewers tonight, we're going to talk all about love tonight.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. So actually, in the Greek world, there are about 8 types of love. And as we all know, I want to mention the most universal love, or they call it agape love, which is unconditional love. And I think the best or the greatest example of agape or unconditional love is God's love to us, right? Because John 3:16, God gave his only begotten son to save us. So that's agape love, because it's like sacrificial love, like it's universal love. So what can you say about that, Tito Gas? What other
Well, yeah,
example?
yeah. Oh, first of all, greetings to all of the lovers out there. Yeah, we are in our vacation home in Oxnard, California, and we have special guests with us, Rowena Waters. They're all stalwarts of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce. We have Eileen Ligot, Dizon, and of course, Joyce Garcia as house guests, and we've been having great fun. So congratulations, by the way, MJ, for Be Bold. This is a pleasant surprise for us. Be bold, why not? Yeah, that's a great name for a show. Different kinds of love. You gave me a very quick rundown of the different types of love.
Yeah.
And if I may, I would like to also mention a few others that are not on the list, no? And they are very common among Filipinos and Philams. And one of these is, uh, well, you mentioned love of God. That's very important.
Yes.
But love of country, and we can come up with Greek names for this as well. Love of country, and we can spend an entire hour just talking about love of country. And by country, I mean not just the U.S., which is
Mm-hmm.
our adopted land, but also the Philippines where we're from. And the love of the Philippines is always in our heart. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as they say, you can take the Filipino away from the Philippines, but you can never take the Philippines away from the Filipinos' heart. So love of country, and then of course we have love of community. Like I said, this is very common among us community leaders, and then love of friends. No,
Mm-hmm.
very very of course family and love of friends. For example, it's today is Eileen Dizon's birthday.
Oh, yes, yes. We want to say happy birthday, Eileen. Yes.
Happy birthday to me! Yeah. Look at the flowers.
Wow. That's
California.
right. Love of friends. So that
Love of
is,
friends, yeah.
that's
So
true.
this program is very appropriate since Valentine's Day is coming up. And so, to all you lovers out there, have fun. Have fun on Valentine's Day and all the year, throughout the year. Okay, so let's give the others a chance as well.
Yeah. So I think so we have talked about agape, which is unconditional love. And the perfect example that I mentioned is God's love to his creation. And I think another example for unconditional love is a mother's love to his children.
Mhm.
Don't you agree po? Kasi di ba it's always compared, a mom's love to her kids is like compared to God's love to the church, because it's so unconditional that a mom is willing to do anything and
Anything,
everything just
anything.
for,
Yeah.
yes. So I think that's a very, very another perfect example of an agape love. And yeah, you mentioned about a friend, friends love.
Mhm.
So yeah.
In terms of the love of a mother, and
Mhm.
every year I write a special essay which I distribute to all the mothers and call them all, the best moms, super moms in the world. And they're all very happy to see my essay. They
Uh-huh.
say that God cannot be everywhere. And
Yes.
that's why he created moms,
Mothers.
mother.
Wow. Wow. So, but no offense po to the fathers like you, ha?
It's okay. No, no offense taken. You know.
Yes, yes. Kasi po, yeah. I
Yeah.
know you all love your kids too, but it's just different. I mean, it's like I miss my mom. I mean, she passed at a very young age,
Mhm.
but I still feel, even though she's not with me anymore, with us anymore, but I know that in heaven. I mean, she's praying for us. She's looking over us. I mean, she's looking after us. So a mom's love is really a perfect example of agape love. Now,
Hmm.
other than agape love, which is unconditional love, you mentioned about friends love. And actually friends love, they call it like it's called philia, or it's
Hmm.
affectionate love. Yeah.
Actually,
So that's, yeah, philia in the Greek, in the Greek world. And then of course, one of the most interesting loves, of course, is eros, or romantic love.
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, Tito Gas, when did you experience like the real romantic love in
Oh
your
my God.
life?
Yeah. Well, I think most of you, most of you know Tita Ethel, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Radical Ethel, the
Mhm,
love of my life.
mhm.
And we won once we were on a cruise. We were selected to participate in this love and marriage game, and we won. And
Uh-huh,
some of the questions were hilarious, like how long have you known each other? And
uh-huh.
Ethel's answer was, I was 4 years old. And it's
Ah,
true. It's true. We came from a small hometown, and we
wow.
lived with each other for since he was born, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
So and we've been married 54 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
then
So it's like soulmate po talaga kayo, no? You're soulmates.
much, too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you grew up together and you ended up,
Right.
living a lifetime together. So
Pretty much
yes.
all the time. That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
There
can
you go.
happen. It happens.
Another perfect, yeah, you are a perfect example of, actually, it's not just eros, romantic love, but also like enduring love. There's
There
this enduring love
you
in
go.
Greek. Yeah, in Greek they call it pragma.
Pragma.
So yeah, so
Hmm.
in your relationship alone with Tita Ethel po, you have the, and I can say unconditional, because it's not easy to be married for that long nowadays.
Ethel
So
will tell you that
yeah,
every day. Not easy living with me. But,
so which means po that really, I mean, you have that unconditional sacrificial love for each other. You have that romantic love, because if you don't keep the romance there, there's no excitement, right? And then you
mhm.
have the pragma love, which is enduring love, because I mean, you've endured through the ups and downs of life, the hills and the valleys and all that. So you
Very well
are
said.
like the real epitome of love sa kabuuan ng ngalan ng pag-ibig,
Yeah.
right?
Ito si Tita Ethel, sabi niya, that's what he thinks.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. 54 years.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yes, that's awesome po. And I mean, we look up to you. And for all those listening or watching out there, I mean, we are really learning so much from Tito Gas, because nowadays that's what we are missing in this world, People just think, like, take granted, what love is. They don't really see the commitment after love. I mean, it's not just you have to love, but you have to be committed. You have to endure. Like, you have to endure whatever, obstacles that come your way.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
through hell or
yes,
high water. Yeah.
yes. Opo. So it's very timely for our topic. And it's like, so other types of love, boy, yeah, we've mentioned about eros, or romantic love, agape love. We've mentioned about pragma, which is enduring love. And
Mhm.
now there's also the familiar love. Yeah, which is it's called
Pamilya.
storge, which is love of family.
Oh, family, of course.
Yeah, yeah, familial love.
MJ, I don't want to hug the show. Can we bring on our special guests here as well, Joyce Garcia and
Yes,
Eileen?
please.
Eileen
Yes,
Dizon. Come on,
thank
MJ.
you again po. Thank you so much po. Yeah, but stay on. Hi po. Good evening, Miss Joyce.
Hello,
You look,
hello. Good
you
evening.
look striking. You're in love.
I'm always in love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh,
So now we're on familiar love of storage love. Can you share with us like your own experience, like about this love? Because it's familiar, so love for your siblings, for your parents. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you express your love to your family?
Um, of course, being the eldest in the family, one of the ways I express that is by taking care of them, being responsible. Um, Even after college, I was the first one to get a job
Mm-hmm.
and supporting them financially.
Mm-hmm.
But now, that extends to the nieces and the nephews, that even though we're far from each other, making sure every birthdays, every holidays that we send them gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because of the long distance, it's expressed through gifts, but
Mm-hmm.
more importantly, I think maintaining the communication so that they know who we are
Mm-hmm.
and always expressing how much I love them, as family. And
Yeah, and I know, yeah, and that's pretty cool because in our culture, we really take care of each other and we take care even the generations to come.
yeah,
We just don't take care of like our siblings, but just like you said, we take care of our nieces, our nephews, our grandchildren, our grandnieces. I mean, it's like, yeah, that is a very great example of familiar love because we in our culture we do that, and that's why we have very close knit family ties. So,
yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
yes, and I mean everybody can relate. I know we Filipinos, we sacrifice, sometimes we sacrifice our dreams, we sacrifice being away from our families. That's why you will find Filipinos everywhere, like all over the world, because
Hmm.
they want to help their families. And that is a great example of familiar love, which we all can relate to. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So that's really awesome. So ano po, how do your family reciprocate your love to them?
Well, in my family, I have one daughter. Of course, she gets all the love. And what I really am very proud of is um, how she may not always express it, but
Mm-hmm.
she'll do things for us that she knows are important to us.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say now that I'm here visiting,
Mm-hmm.
she's taking care of my mom who lives with us,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that she has food before my daughter has to leave. She's making sure that Lola has food,
Mm-hmm.
because um, she she doesn't really cook anymore, so she's taking care of her in that sense. And then, of course, my nieces and nephews, of course, like they'll always say, "Oh, you're my favorite tita,"
Hmm.
but that's because
Yeah.
every time they want something, we get it for them. Yeah,
Can I interject something here on
yeah, please.
familial
Oh,
love?
opo.
There's one very, very distinctly Filipino
Mm-hmm.
culture manifestation is self-sacrifice that correlates to familial love,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exemplified by the sacrifices made by the parents, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the villages, in the barrios, to sacrifice everything in order for their children to
Mm-hmm.
finish school, college, and then when they're done, most of these kids, go overseas and
Mm-hmm.
make sacrifices, untold sacrifices to send almost all of their salaries back home. It's a way of paying back, the love
Yeah.
that was given to them when they were children.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is our culture. We make
Yeah.
great self-sacrifices
Opo.
for familial love.
Kaya nga po nila paying it forward,
Mm.
right? Kaya nga po, it's so natural in our culture for the recipients of our love and care to do it, because we don't expect anything in return, right? If for
Mhm.
sincere and true love, we don't expect anything in return. But the good thing about us doing this with all our hearts is they are paying it forward. So they're spreading the love without even being asked to do it because they received it themselves. So yeah, and that's how we make our, world a better place. And that's how we improve our families. Because, a lot of us, we come from really like the poorest of the poorest conditions, but because of our love for each other, for our family, we make sacrifices, we support each other, we try to improve the lives of our families, then they do it for generations to come. So we are improving our generation. So that's really is paying it forward. And I can relate to that, Paul, because my nieces, we've helped some of them. And then what they did, they helped their brothers, sisters. Now they're helping each other. So that's really a very, very great example again of familial love. Well, I just want to read. We have a comment from one of our viewers. We have Gemma Villamor Gulaksen. Happy birthday, Eileen Ligot Dizon, and it's nice to see you, Kuya Gas.
Yay.
Well,
Same here.
thank you so much, Gemma, for watching. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so we've talked about familial love. All right, Gemma said thank you. Okay, thank you, Gemma, said Eileen. Eileen. Now we've talked about familial love too. So we also have this. It's called philautia, which is self-love. So what can you say about self-love, Paul? One of you can just go ahead and...
uh, they say, uh, if you cannot love yourself, you cannot love others. But I don't believe in that. I think it's kind of selfish to think of oneself before the others. Uh, Self-love to me is not good. Yeah. We are all altruistic. We think of others first
Mhm.
before we think of ourselves. And if we lead the community, and going back to the chamber business, if you serve the community, but you do it in a way for self-aggrandizement, to make yourself more popular, then where's the glory in that? So
Mhm.
from day one, you have to think of what you can do for the community rather than what it can do for you. So self-love, I don't know. There are people who are only in love with themselves, but
Well, I
not
think
the
there's a
chamber.
different side to that.
Yes.
Not necessarily putting yourself first, but loving yourself enough to be confident so
Mhm.
that when people talk to you about things they don't agree with about you or what you're doing, especially as chamber leaders,
Mm-hmm.
that self-love really comes in handy because you can take what they're giving you without actually receiving it because you know it's not true, right?
Yes.
Like personally. And
Oh,
that really avoids a lot of conflict in moments where, because when then, let's say someone will say something that they don't agree with about
mm-hmm.
what you've done, but if you become defensive right away, that's when things get kind of messy.
Mhm.
But if you know that, I don't agree with what you said, but let me listen to you because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you probably are feeling a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
then that's where self-love can really come in useful, But I agree wholeheartedly with what Tito Gus
Mhm.
said about putting yourself first before others. But in that sense of self-love, loving yourself the way God sees you, right?
That's okay too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respecting that part of you because God created us like he loves all of us.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
in that sense, that's where I would say that comes in.
Yeah, and I think it's also depends on how we interpret. I think you can being selfish is actually like different from taking care of ourselves. because we have to take care of ourselves, because how can we take care of other people if we don't take care of ourselves? I think that's just one of, the aspects of having to love ourselves is
Wow.
take care of ourselves so we can give more, so we can serve more. Because if we're sickly, if we don't have the strength, then how can we serve? So I think that's one thing. So
Oh, yeah.
self-care, self-love. So
Self-care
yeah,
is important. Getting a
yes,
massage every week, every month.
Another way of saying that is you do not or you cannot give what you
what
do
you
not
don't have.
if you don't
Totoo
Yeah.
have.
po yun. Yeah.
Develop strength and and vitality and
Mhm.
intelligence, everything else within you before you
Yeah.
can share it with others.
Right.
Apa, that's true. Anyway, it's getting so interesting. I'm like, we already are like, oh my God, like half of the show. And we even forgot to go on a break, but we should go on a break before we move on. So let's take our first break. We'll be back.
What is a last will and testament? Well, sometimes you just call it will. A will and last will testament are just basically the same. It's just that the use of language. There's a lot of um, specificity in terms of language in law, right? So will is a legal document. When you say legal document, that means it's a document that can be enforced under the law. There's a document that you created, but it doesn't have any legal.
You can't use it
You
in
cannot
court.
use it. You can't use it for any legal purposes. But a will, yes, it is a legal document. That means you can go to court and show to the judge that this is my last will and testament. Can you enforce it?
Mhm.
All right, we're back. Yes. Oh my God. This is so nice. Thank you po talaga for joining. I mean, we're making it really fun. But also there's actually this fun love. Okay, wait. There's a question before we move on. How does self-love and self-care play a role in fostering a loving relationship with others? So what do you think po?
I think we already answered that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
Pretty much. I
Mhm.
raised a point and Joyce raised a counterpoint saying, there's really self-love is really that negative.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
something to it. And she's right. You
Mhm.
have to have the capacity to love. You have
Uh-huh.
to build that strength within you and in your heart before you can share it.
That's true. Yeah. So it's very important. We got to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others and we can love others. And that's how we grow our love for each other. Because if one or the other doesn't have the capacity to love, then it's not going to grow,
Right.
right? It's going to be just a one-way love. It's not going to be a two-way. So anyhow, another thing, this is quite interesting part. There's another term for like playful love. It's called ludus in Greek. So sabi nila playful love is like the flirty stages. Like, do you recall in your lives? No, it might get too personal, but just for fun, in your lives having this type of love, like
Maybe,
playful
maybe in
infatuation.
high school.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's all puppy love is another way of saying puppy love.
Okay.
It's mostly among young people, their elementary grade level and high school level. They don't
Uh-huh.
really understand what love is. They really don't. And they think
Yeah.
they're passionately in love, deeply in love, but they're not. So, to me, that's playful love.
Yes, that's true. Kayo po, Ate Joyce. Or if, I may be older than you. I'm calling you ate, pero pardon me if I
Yeah,
am.
I'm your ate. I'm your ate. I
Yeah.
would say, I mean, I think it's so like with my husband, just to keep, because you have to enjoy being around each other, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Like a great example, Rowena sent me an AI photo and I texted it to my friend and I mean my husband, and I said, just jokingly, I was like, you like, because it was like, it was never me, but it was like
Okay.
someone on the beach, with my face on it. And then he responded by like, like, yeah, it was nice. And so that was something like we were having fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I showed it to them, but it was still fun just doing something like that, just being silly,
Yes.
just,
Yeah. Just adding a little spice, right? A little fun. So, yeah.
Can
So,
I add something to the conversation? I don't know
opo.
if people love among adults is
Mm-hmm.
possible, and I think it is. I don't know if this program is PG-13 or PG-17.
PG lang,
PG
Tito
lang.
Gas. Let's
All
keep
right. But, playful love can also be present among adults
Mm-hmm.
in, in the sense of, and people say, is it possible to have love without sex, or is it possible to have sex without love? And I
Mm-hmm.
think both statements can be true, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is playful love. If you're just there flirting and not really serious about a long-term and deep relationship, that's playful love. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mentioned because you know it's 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 a time and age for that, and unfortunately, for us adults and parents and grandparents, it's a reality that we have to face. The younger
Mhm.
people are more into playful love than we
Yes,
are.
and I think we need to guide them. Like, yeah, we need to guide them. Yeah, I have a teenager, so I'm a little like, okay, that you're too young, okay? You just think you're in love, but it's not. It's not. So anyway, but it's happening. You're right, Paul. Like we have middle school children, they're already having relationships and all that. It's sad, but it happens. This is the generation we're in, but we're here to guide them because we know we have the wisdom, especially you, Pot, Tito Gan. You get the wisdom from people who've been there, done that. So we really appreciate it. And then there's this last type of love that we have to mention, just because I've said earlier that we're going to mention the different types of love, and it's mania, which is a dangerous love. That's the obsessive love. And I know this is a little bit of, a little bit sensitive, but there are people out there in such situations where they are trapped in this kinds of relationships, right? So what can you say about this, Paul?
Mania, call it
Yeah,
mania.
or obsessive love.
Oh,
Yeah, I know it's
tough one.
a word.
Yeah.
It's a strong word.
Well,
Yeah.
I've seen it
Mhm.
amongst friends. I mean, not a whole lot, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, it's one of those that is dangerous because they feel like there's no one else who can look at their spouse.
Hmm.
And
Jealousy.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it does happen, with the like domestic violence, just because
Mhm.
there are men who,
Mhm.
even amongst the Filipino communities, where they're like, no, if no one can have you,
Yeah.
only me. And then sometimes that results to,
Violence.
Yes.
violence, even murder even. And
Mhm.
it's sad, but that I think that stems from lack of love from them
Mhm.
growing up,
Yes.
so they feel they have to control their
Mhm.
spouse. It may start off really nice at first, and that's what sparks everything, but then it becomes obsessive, right? To where
Yes.
they're so insecure that they have to control the other person. And it's unfortunate, but you're right, it does happen.
Yes, yes, it's true. So we're not gonna talk a lot more about that because we wanted to keep it, to keep it more fun. But we have a question from Gemma. Ooh, we gotta answer her. What do we call our love to a handsome celebrity?
Oh, I don't think that's love.
That's not love.
That's infatuation. It's idol worship. It's
Yeah.
it's not love. It's
Yeah, it's probably nudious or playful. It's more like it, yeah, maybe that playful one where you're
Yeah,
just trying
maybe.
that, maybe because you're just admiring that person. You're not in love with that person, right?
yeah.
Right.
Unless unless, that love is reciprocated by that celebrity, then it becomes real
Yeah,
love.
then it becomes.
But that's
Yeah.
where mania can also happen. There are some fans who like become like fanatics of,
Mhm.
Yes.
and then they stalk them and all that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we be in love with Taylor Swift? Of course not. But the kids think they
That's
love the
right.
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Okay, that could be related also to unrequited love. You know,
mhm.
you
Mhm.
really are obsessed with one person. Could be a celebrity, or it could be a
Yes.
friend that you're really, really in love with,
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
sense that you want to be, you want to have a relationship, and
Yeah.
it's unrequited. That
Yeah.
you are not loved back. That's dangerous also.
Yes.
It could be an obsessive love also
Oh
when
boy.
when the feeling is not mutual.
Yes. Yes. Or idolatry. Oh my gosh. Right. So
Mhm.
anyway, we have talked about the different types of love and our examples or our own perspectives and views of this different type of loves. We also have some videos from some of our friends and family, and let's just listen to what they say about love.
Hi, my name is Freya Rossi Pamantuan, and I would define love as choosing kindness. Choosing kindness even at the worst moments, choosing kindness even when your first instinct is to be judgmental, and overall knowing that out of 10 other options, you have chosen to be kind with the pure intentionality that you're going to get through the hard times and the weak moments.
Hi everyone, my name is Mara Concepcion, the daughter of Mary Jane Concepcion, and
Oh,
personally, I think that love is indefinite. It is a never-ending resource and people can continue to share it forever. It can be shared all day, every day, 24/7. And whether it is a family member, a friend, or a significant other, love can be given away or received at any time.
Hi there. To me, love is a complex and multifaceted range of emotions that encompasses feelings, attitudes, and behaviors. Love is a choice. You don't expect something in return. It's more on giving and not on taking.
oh,
So overall, love plays a significant role in shaping human relationships. It promotes self-growth and well-being. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ann Garcia and I was asked to make a video on what my thoughts are on what love means. For Valentine's Day, I think we should not only celebrate our spouses or our partners, I think we should celebrate ourselves because love is very broad. It's a general feeling for me. There is love for self, love for your work, love for your pets or your family. And, we should always let those people know that we love them, not just on Valentine's Day, but every day. Love, I think, is the reason of living. Love helps you to have a purpose. It helps you to show up and do what you do because you love it. You love either your job or your family or your children, or you just want to show up and do something for yourself. And that right there is love for me. And I wish you all a happy Valentine's Day and let us celebrate love, whatever that means for you.
Nice. Ang galing ko, right?
dang.
Just like Freya. Freya is a teacher. I mean, she's one of my friend's daughters. So yeah, loving is caring or showing kindness to others, right? And then my daughter said it's a never-ending resource, which is true. You're free to give love. Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
can show love every minute, every second, every minute, every hour of the day, 24/7. Yeah, we just have to be really out there and showing it and making people that we care about feel our love, and it doesn't matter how old or young you are. And then of course Alessa, it's like still giving yourself and showing love and building relationships. Yeah. And then of course, and it's, yeah, love for family, everybody. So it's so interesting. We have some comments before we move on. And after reading the comments, we're going to go on another break. But let's read first from Chel de Seco. She said, for those who have been married for decades, what are some practical tips for maintaining long-lasting love and keeping the spark alive in a relationship? Tito Gas, you're the
Wow.
person to answer this.
Yeah. In our bedroom, there's a plaque that lists 10 different things, and I don't remember them all, as, tips for a long relationship. And for me, it's give and take. You can, after so many years, you pretty much can read each other's minds, and as for me, and I think it was my mom who told me this, never go to bed angry with each other, and or if your spouse is mad and angry, just shut up. Shut up and give her time to vent, because usually it's our fault. I'm talking on behalf of the men in the family. It's true. There are so many other tips that I can share. I wish my wife share and to share as well. Uh, it's sacrifice, You sacrifice for each other. It's oh gosh, so many things that I cannot remember all of them right now. But uh, you have to be each other's soulmate. Okay. Uh, you have to be forgiving, because love is forgiving, love is kind, love is never self-centered. You have the humility to accept, you know, uh, disappointments, and also the humility to say sorry when usually I'm the one who creates the problem. And so you cannot be too proud and too selfish. Otherwise, your relationship, even if Filipinos don't have divorce, it happens. When Filipinos cannot divorce, they annul their marriages because of so many reasons. No? Number one is money, the fights about money. Number two is uh,
I think infidelity.
infidelity is number two. Number three, I believe, is number two, money, infidelity, and uh,
Is
what's
it like family issues or something? Parenting? I don't know. But it's like, yeah, it's one of those reasons din po siguro, right?
Yeah,
Because
but they've been married 54 years.
4 years. So
So yes,
Yeah.
listen to what he has to say.
right.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, there's another question po. What to consider from Chel de Seco pa rin po. She says, what to consider to overcome the power struggle phase in the stages of marriage. Whoa, that's pretty deep. Power struggle between the husband and the wife. What do we...
This happens in a situation where husband and wife are both professionals. And we live in a town in North Texas called Plano. And when our kids were growing up, Plano was the number one divorce capital in the United States. And it also it was the number one teenage suicide city in the United States. And I was asked to be part of a study group in Plano, and this is what we found out. The reason for the city being the number one divorce city in the United States, and also the number one suicide venue, or city in the United States, is because of husband and wife. This very topic that you suggested, the power struggle between husband and wife, both are professionals. Both are they try to outdo each other in terms of wealth, in terms of job promotions, stature in the community and in business. And as a result of that, they neglect their kids. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so the kids, also, third thing about Plano, Texas, the number one in drug usage among teenagers.
Oh, my goodness.
We experienced it ourselves because we were both busy. We were not fighting against each other, stature, but we were busy 7 days a week publishing an international magazine, and we were in the World Trade Center and the kids were left at home and we neglected them. We really neglected them. It's regrets of a lifetime, but now we're making it up to them. So, power struggle. What can you say, Joyce? You have that experience.
No, I've been married half of what has been married, so I'm just listening.
Okay. And I think one way to really, we have to go back to the Bible, di po ba? Like, husbands, you have to love your wives as God loves the church, and wives, you have to submit to your husband and respect. So I think if we practice this love and respect relationship, then there shouldn't be any struggle. But it's happening because it's true. Because the man, usually, normally, they say he's the breadwinner, but there are situations where the woman is the one bringing more money or bring more finances to the family. So that's where issues and conflicts arise from these situations. And we just have to really just go back to the vows that we made when we got married and go back to the Bible and just follow what God has taught us to do for us to be able to maintain that relationship. Because that's the only way, I think. Otherwise, if we just get to be influenced by by the secular society, we're not gonna get to what Tito Gas has reached and Tita Ethel 56 years. So I think we just have to go back to what the Bible, the God had taught us to do. Yes, but we're gonna go on a break again, and then we'll be back for the final segment of the show. We'll see. All right. Come on, where's Eileen?
I know.
Right here. Hello.
Diana.
Tito Gas
Tito Gas
brought us
wants
something.
to show you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to show you something.
There you go. The love rules.
This is the list mantra. Okay, the list of about 10 things that the first thing we see in the morning, the last thing that we see at night. Love rules. Okay.
Yes.
I used to memorize this, but senior moment, hindi na. Listen to your heart, kiss each other good night, say I love you, be thoughtful and generous, run away together, candlelight dinners. Many of this we don't do anymore. Be patient and kind with your words. Important, especially with me, because I don't hold anything back. Hold hands and cuddle. Know when to say you're sorry. Laugh together every day. Be willing to compromise. Write love letters. This is very effective. Never go to bed angry. I mentioned this. Be spontaneous and impulsive. Respect each other. Very important. Grow old together. Remember why you fell in love. Live happily ever after. So even if you're just married 1 year, 20 years, 50 years, same rules.
Yes, yes. Wow, now we got all these rules. Okay, you got it. Yeah, those who are watching. What a nice, yeah, that's good. We got to remember this. And that's the secret of Tito Gas and Tita Ethel.
No, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We have another comment. Okay, we have another comment from Attorney Orlando Deason. You better be ready, Attorney Eileen, to answer this
Come
question.
on, Eileen.
Oh, is this for me?
Yes.
Goodness, I'm
There's
nervous.
the notion that under desire in the Philippines is not real. Suggests that men simply give up on the situation to avoid arguments. What do you think about that, Eileen?
Okay, I don't know why I have to answer this question. I might get too personal, but
Not
I'm
a
gonna.
question. I just want you. I just need your comment. I just need your comment on this. What do you think?
Let me read that again. The notion that under desire in the Philippines is not real suggests that men simply give up on the situation. I don't know, to be honest, where that words under desire came from. Where did that come from? Because I was just born with it. I mean, I hear it all the time. But if you're going to make sense of it, I think it's just a term made up by people in the past because they couldn't think of the right terms, to use or to say. But I think under desire is actually a sacrificial kind of love, I believe.
Mhm.
Or, let me say this. After I read all that long bucket list of beautifully written words about love and how to maintain that relationship, and what I've heard from Tito Gas and Joyce, actually I was, wow, I don't really want to say anything anymore because I was just listening. I'm learning a lot from them. But there's one thing that I can probably use to sum it all. Especially the relationship with your spouse.
Mhm.
And I've been trying to apply this in my life, no matter what happened. And, Orly, you're listening now. You know this. Forward only.
Confession of Eileen's. Oh, this is like oh wow.
Yeah. Why am I still smiling, right? Four words. Always choose each other. Or if you don't want that, always choose your love. So no matter what happened, always choose your spouse. Your spouse is not perfect. Your spouse makes mistakes. I make mistakes, right? But at the end of the argument, you can argue all you want. But at the end of the argument, choose each other. Choose to be with each other. Now, I say this also as a divorce attorney. I've seen it happening. I pretty much have an idea why couples are divorcing. They get divorced not because they just had a fight. They get divorced. They go to the attorney, ask for divorce, because this has been going on for a long time, and they tried everything they can do to, keep the relationship.
Mhm.
Sad to say, at the end, they did not choose each other. They
Mhm.
choose to live separately, and I, it's hard to justify that, or you can't really judge people because sometimes it's self-preservation as well. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's really not working. I mean, it's
Yes.
really hard to compromise. I think there's no one formula for love to,
Mhm.
to preserve love. But for me, it's just no matter what, you still choose each other.
Mhm.
And that's what I can say. But one thing in the list that I that stuck, that was, that I've been thinking since the last show, that is that again, remember when you fell in love.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in that list, because
Yeah.
sometimes if we're really mad at each other, I'm like, uh sometimes we forget why we fell in love to this person in the first place,
Mhm.
because all you see is the anger, the mistakes, the hatred that has,
The flaws and
been growing.
mhm.
So yeah, that's all I can say. Always choose each other, no matter
Got
what.
Great. Yes, yes. Love is commitment. Love is acceptance. Sometimes we expect too much of our husband or spouse or partner, and that we try to change them for our benefit, and that's not how love works. So anyway, for as a review and summary, we've talked about the different types of love. We have agape love or unconditional love. We have eros or romantic love. We have pragma or enduring love. We have ludus or playful love. We have what is it called? Philia, affectionate love. Yeah, and then philautia, which is self-love. We have storge, which is familiar love. And we have, of course, mania, which is obsessive love, which we, as much as possible, we try to fix that or try to, mend that. So it's not going to be, because it's a sickness, I think. Obsession is a sickness. Anyways, we have talked about all these different types of love, and I really, really appreciate Tito Gas and Joyce Garcia, sorry, and of course Attorney Eileen Ligot Dizon for participating or being in our show tonight. And we're gonna have the whole month of February for the different types of love. So next week, I think our next week will be romantic love, and we'll have guests. Yes. But before we go po, last words from you po. What can you advise our viewers and
Wow. Okay.
listeners?
As the song goes, the song was very popular in our time, not yours. Love is a many splendored thing. Love
Yes.
is a many splendored thing, and you pretty much articulated why that is so. With all those kinds of love, the different dimensions of love, and so on. And I thought this has been a great program. If I can say so myself. And we were very happy to be part of this. Unexpectedly, you told me like what, 10 minutes before. Yeah, but it's been a pleasure. And we wish all the lovers in the world, whether you're teenagers or whether you're millennials or whether you are senior citizens like us, it's the same thing. It's that's one common denominator amongst all of us, and that is love. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
The
you.
greatest gift of all is love,
Mm.
right? As the song goes, and then we have another comment from Gemma. Yes, she says, for marriage to work, take the expectation out of the equation. So don't get disappointed. Yes, Gemma. Thank you. That was very good. That was very good. Yes. Any last words from you, Joyce?
Guys.
No, thank you for having us. I appreciate it, and I I appreciated all the feedback. Your topic. This is very interesting. So definitely keep you on the radar to watch more of your shows.
Oh, thank you so much. And Attorney Eileen, again, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Show right there.
Yes, beautiful flowers. So see, that's one way of showing love. Yeah, gifting with flowers. Yes.
I'm just very grateful, MJ, to have listened to Joyce and Tito Gas. I have so much to learn in life. And I'm also grateful for the accommodation here. Yes, this is magical love, unconditional, no condition at all.
And MJ, you're quite an expert yourself, MJ.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. And again, thank you so much for, even though with a short notice, you made the show even better. Thank you. We really, really appreciate it.
Can you watch the recorded live show?
Yes.
I want to show it to my grandkids.
Yeah, it will be available on our Facebook page and of course YouTube channel and stream.lawin.live. Again, to all of those who have participated and watched our show tonight, thank you again so much. And Be Bold Why Not is here every Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to have our participants in the drawing of, winners, right? We're going to draw our winners. So again.
Okay.
Thank you. I think
Galing.
that's it. We're
Galing.
done.
That was fun.
That was